Hey guys, I'm well today. So in today's video, I'll be grading the Super Rugby transfers for New Zealand teams for the 2021-2022 season. So yeah, very excited to do this, of course. But before we start this video, just want to say a Merry Christmas, obviously, towards everyone. I am actually filming this video before Christmas Day, but just obviously want to say good Christmas. Obviously, hope everyone has a good Christmas. Obviously this has kind of been an eventful year to say the least. Obviously with COVID and now obviously the new one. But overall, I think we've had a very good, year of rugby to say the least. Obviously, going from from February with with Super Rugby and the Six Nations, all the way towards July with the July Internationals, as well as the Lions Tour, obviously in PASIFIKA, and then within the September-October period with the Rugby Championship, and then to finish it off with the Autumn Nations in Europe. So yeah, no, pretty eventful year to say the least, and yeah, a good one overall, I'd say, for rugby. But I'll probably discuss that more within the video later on towards the end of the year. But for now, let's just get straight into this video. But before I do, by the way, guys, like this video right now, guys, and comment below. Let me know if you agree with my grading system. If you believe that someone's been graded harshly, or do you believe that's kind of the right grade for them? But anyway, let's get straight into it. So of course, with the Auckland Blues. Here are the Auckland Blues 2021-2022 transfers. Of course, starting off with the forwards, we do the likes of Ricky Riccatelli, obviously coming from the Hurricanes, 26 years old, and a hooker. So, yeah, I'd say a decent position, kind of a position we needed, I'd say, for the Blues. We have given up actually two hookers towards Moana, PASIFIKA, obviously, for their starting season. But, yeah, I do believe, Riccatelli will be considered the backup hooker, in my opinion, but he has the ability, obviously, to challenge Kurt Eklund, to say the least. So, it's a good transfer overall because it brings more competition within that position. So yeah, pretty excited to see how he gets along. Of course, the next one we do the likes of Luke Romero, obviously bringing a lot of experience at least, coming from the Crusaders as well. 35 years old and a lock, so this is this is a position we desperately needed, obviously with the with Patrick Tuipulotu obviously going towards Japan for a sabbatical. So yeah, that's definitely a position we needed. So yeah, pretty excited to see how it gets along. Of course, another lock for at least, obviously James Tucker coming from the Brumbies, 27 years old as well, and this is another position we needed, desperately, because obviously we have lost Jared Tuati on a officially towards Japan. So yeah, it was a big. I'm not gonna say a big loss, but it's definitely you know he was just at the he was just reaching his peak for the Blues. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing that he's just left. But hey, we'll see how he gets along. But of course, with the last one, we do have the likes of Anton Segman, obviously with a loose forward. That's at least another loose forward, and he's 20 years old. So yeah, a great addition, obviously, towards that Blues loose forward pack. I mean, yeah, we have so many loose forwards at least. But what I love about this guy is, if you guys didn't know, he's actually German born, and yeah, he's been playing very well within the NPC. I mean, I think he played for. Oh, so you guys are obviously question this. I believe he played for Taranaki, or was it Tasman? It might have been Tasman, but yeah, overall, I thought he was just brilliant. I've seen a lot of his highlights, so yeah, pretty excited to see how he gets along. But of course, the last one, obviously within the backs, the only addition obviously towards the backs is Roger Tuesa Czech, and yeah, very excited to see how he gets along. Obviously coming from the NRR. And obviously he is 28 years old, and I have put him down as a center because I do believe that's kind of the position that he'll kind of be playing being playing a lot. I'd say within this Blues side. I mean, that combination obviously with Roger Czech and with him and Rekolani, woo, that's gonna be a good center combo. So yeah, pretty excited to see how it gets along. Obviously, he is kind of the replacement you could say for TJ Fani as well, who's also gone to Japan. So yeah, it's kind of a good replacement, obviously, to get in. But overall, about the grade of these players, I'd probably say Ricky Riccatelli is probably a B plus transfer. That's what I'd probably say. For Luke Romano, he does bring a lot of experience in, and what we've seen in the past is that a lot of experienced locks come in and they do pretty well. So I'll probably give this a C plus transfer in my opinion. For James Tucker, I'll probably say a C minus. I'll probably say for Anton Segner, probably a B plus, because he was a highly he was a loose forward that everyone pretty wanted, everyone that wanted. So yeah, I'm happy that kind of the Blues stashing up. So I'll probably say a B plus for him. And then for Roger Tuesa Czech, I'll probably say an A minus, because again, he has to kind of adapt himself towards the 15 environments, but at the same time, I do believe it's probably one of the best transfers out of all the Super Rugby teams. But yeah, no, we'll see how he gets along. But of course, moving on towards the Chiefs. Here are the Chiefs 2021-2022 transfers. Of course, with the backs, we do the likes of, Josh Arnott, who's obviously been added towards the Chiefs side, obviously coming from the Highlanders. So a big, deal to say the least. Obviously 26 years old, and would probably play. I mean, I have put him down as a fly half, but he probably will play, I'd say, mostly at fullback, in my opinion, just because Damian McKenzie obviously has gone towards Japan for sabbatical. So it would make most sense, in my opinion, that he would play in that position. Obviously, with Caleb Trask obviously playing at 10 as well. But you don't know. They could switch that around. I mean, Josh Arnott, you can also play center if you have to. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But overall, pretty good transfers, obviously, for the Chiefs. But, of course, we do the likes of Moana, Noah, and this is probably a good... I would say it's a good transfer, obviously. He's kind of more of a squad depth player, in my opinion, because I do believe there's probably better wingers in that position that can fill that spot. But obviously, this is, kind of a much-needed replacement, obviously, for the unfortunate, passed away of Sean Wanui. So... yeah, it's understandable, but yeah, I mean, what a player he was. I mean, I just remember scoring the hat trick. Probably one of his last games, really, he played. But yeah, anyway. But overall, I mean, if I had to grade, obviously, these two signings, I would say Josh Arnott is probably a B. Is he a B? I'd probably say it's an A- transfer. I'd probably say an A- transfer. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the A+, but I'd say A- only because Damian McKenzie isn't playing this season. If he was, then that would have been such a good combination to see. So for that reason, I'll say probably A- for that one. But for Moana, Noah, just because it's kind of a more squad depth kind of addition, I'll probably say a D+, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll move on towards the Crusaders, obviously, right now. So here is obviously the Crusaders transfer, obviously, for the up-and-coming season. For the forwards, we have the big addition. I'll probably say the biggest transfer out of all the teams, in my opinion, with Pablo Matera, obviously coming from France. He's 28 years old, obviously a loose forward. He can play within the 6th position or 8. So yeah, pretty excited to see how he gets along. I mean, he has Super Rugby experience as well, obviously with the Jaguares. He actually played against the Crusaders in Christchurch, obviously in that Super Rugby final. So yeah, he'll have kind of a familiar feeling, obviously, of the environment within Christchurch, to say the least. But yeah, just very excited to see how he gets along. Obviously, I am a Blues fan, but I mean, that Blues 4-pack can definitely challenge the Blues 4-pack for sure. I mean, Cullen Grace, Tom Christie, and Pablo Matera. Woof! Yeah, that's a heck of a Blues 4-pack. So yeah, pretty excited to see how it gets along. But of course, the backs, we do the likes of Tora Taurarangi, of course, coming from the Chiefs. Another addition towards that scrum half position, which is interesting to see because obviously they already do have the likes of Mitch Drummond as well as Bryn Hall, so I guess it's just more competition really to see who kind of gets that starting place. But he is 26 years old, so he still has a long way in his career. But pretty decent signing to say the least, obviously for Crusaders there. And of course we do the likes of Simon Hickey as well, obviously coming in within that fly half position. 27 years old. In my opinion, I'd probably say he's kind of the third choice. In my opinion, obviously with Fergus Burke obviously being second choice and younger than him, so yeah, it's understandable why I consider that. But overall, still, I'd say an average signing to say the least. But if I had to rate these 3 signings, I'd probably say Pablo Matera A+. Not going to really surprise a lot of people in that position. I'd probably say Terani. I'd probably say, because there's already 2 scrum halves there, I'd probably say it's a C+ transfer. It gives more competition, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And for Simon Hickey, I'd probably have to say a D- because it's a third choice, so he's not going to really impact the team as much as you would want. But anyway, we're moving on obviously towards the Highlanders now. So of course, here are the Highlanders 2021-2022 transfers. And they've done pretty well. They've actually signed some, key people, at least, obviously, in positions for people who have left. So, obviously, we do the likes of, Andrew Makaleo, obviously, being the first one off the forwards. He's 29 years old, and a hooker, which was a much-needed, much-needed position, obviously, to get in, with Ash Dixon, obviously, leaving towards Japan. So, yeah, pretty excited to see how he gets along. Of course, we do the likes of Sam Card as well. Obviously, I believe coming from the Blues, or he came from the Brumbies, but obviously from the Blues. I think that's how it works. But he's 24 years old and also another lock. So yeah, pretty excited to see how it gets along. Obviously with Per Parkinson, I believe out. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do believe he had an injury. So it's maybe understandable why they signed a lock there. But of course, the loose forward, they have signed actually Gareth Evans actually from the Hurricanes. So pretty interesting signing to say the least. But obviously, 30 years old and obviously a loose forward. So yeah, pretty excited to see how he gets along. Obviously with Shannon Vizell right there. The likes of Billy Harbin as well. So yeah, it'll be a good addition to say the least within that pack. But I'm not sure he'll be starting. We'll have to wait and see. But Yeah, overall with the backs, of course, we do the likes of Marty Banks actually making his return towards Super Rugby, so very excited to see how he gets along. Obviously, 32 years old, obviously a fly half as well, so he can even play at fullback to say the least, but I think he'll play at fly half in my opinion. But yeah, great addition, obviously brings a lot of Super Rugby experience, and I believe he was there actually when the Highlanders actually won their Super Rugby title, so yeah, pretty excited to see how he gets along. But okay, this one is probably the hardest name I'd probably say I have to pronounce today, so don't yell at me if I get this wrong. But his name is Verneki Tuko Solomono. I believe he's from Fiji. He's 23 years old. He's a winger. And the reason why I've added him is that I saw his highlights from the NPC and just wow, he was incredible. So yeah, he's definitely my ones to watch player. I'd say out of all the players that obviously I'm going to mention so far, he just looks sensational. So yeah, I can definitely see him having a good season for the Highlanders. But overall, if I had to say kind of a grading system, if I had to grade these players, I think Andrew Mikaleo I'll probably say is probably a B plus signing because it was so crucial for them to get a good hooker in, so and a good experienced one as well. So yeah, a good signing at least. Sam Carter I'd probably say probably a C minus. They didn't need it, but I understand why they obviously signed him. Gareth Evans, a good addition, obviously has a lot of experience as well. So I'd probably say a B minus transfer. For the backs, I'd probably say Marty Banks. He brings in a lot of experience, and it's actually what they need because they obviously have a young squad as well. So overall, I would say it's probably a C plus. But then again, I'd say B minus. I'd say B minus obviously for Monty Banks. But of course, the last one for Toko Somomono, I'd probably give a B plus. I mean, he was just sensational, obviously with an NPC. So for that reason, I'd say a B plus. I'd say overall for him. But yeah, pretty good signs overall for the Highlanders. I mean, obviously moving on towards the Hurricanes now. So here are obviously the Hurricanes 2021, 2022 transfers. And yeah, there's some decent players, obviously a lot of experienced players at least. But of course, for the forwards, we do the likes of Owen Franks, obviously, coming in at 33 years old from, I believe is he come from the Crusaders? I'm not sure. Maybe from England. I might be wrong with that. But, he is a prop and yeah, he's not very well. I mean, obviously, he has a ton of experience, obviously playing for the All Blacks. But it should be good to see how he gets along. Obviously, he has played for the Crusaders for a number of years within Super Rugby level. But, it should be a good addition, obviously, towards the Hurricanes as well. They have a really young, I'd say a lot of young props. So, they can definitely learn a lot from Owen Franks, in my opinion. So, yeah, good signing overall, I'd say. Obviously, for the next one, we have actually Dominic Bird, actually from France. He's 30 years old, obviously. Another lock, to add, obviously, towards the locks within the Hurricanes already have. But, I'd probably say I wouldn't say he will get the most minutes. I mean, that's just my call, just because, they do have the likes of Walker Lawaya as well as Jack Blackwell. So, and I do believe those are probably the two best ones they have at the moment. But maybe you want to get someone with more experience in them, like Dominic Bird. So, yeah, overall, I would say it's probably a good transfer, obviously, for the Hurricanes in that position. I mean, we do the likes of, Blake Gibson as well, who's 26 years old, and, another loose forward, obviously, towards added, and he's coming from the Blues as well. So, a decent addition, to say the least. And yeah, he can definitely add a lot, obviously, towards that kind of loose forward depth, which I do believe they need because, you do the likes of, Karifi as well as Otter Sevilla. And yeah, Blake Gibson obviously can add can be another addition, obviously, towards that loose forward pack. So yeah, pretty excited to see how it gets along. But, of course, the backs, we have gone back in the past and obviously signed an ex-Highlander with the likes of Tiarangi Walden, actually, within that center spot, obviously, 28 years old as well. So, pretty interested to see how he gets along. Obviously, this is a much needed position they needed to fill. Obviously, with the likes of Leah Mappe obviously officially leaving and won't be playing obviously Super Rugby anymore. So definitely a spot to fill. And yeah, Walden obviously might be that guy. So yeah, good position, good transfer I'd say overall for the Hurricanes there. And of course, the last one they have gone back in the past and they've reunited Nene Middlescutter, obviously returning towards the Hurricanes. So. Yeah, pretty excited to see how it gets along. Obviously, he wasn't able to actually play for the Highlanders last year when he was meant to. But, he's 21 years old, obviously another winger. I mean, if we get to see him and Julian Sevilla on the same field, I'm going to love that. That just brings me back towards, 2015. But, it'll be good to see if, he can actually play because, he has had a lot of injury problems. But, overall, just pretty excited to see how it gets along. But, of course, if I had to kind of grade these players based off their transfers, I'd probably say Owen Franks is probably a B plus transfer. Brings a lot of experience, and obviously the younger guns can obviously learn from him. Dominic Bird, I'd probably say is C plus transfer. Again, similar position towards Owen Franks, experienced player, but I'm not sure if they need him as much, so I'd say C plus. Blake Gibson, I'd probably say a B minus. Adds a lot of another player towards that loose four pack. They do need a lot of kind of loose you could say loose forward depth. They need to kind of increase that. So obviously he does bring that obviously towards that. So yeah, pretty excited to see how it gets along. Of course, the backs we do the likes of Walden. So I'd probably say a C plus. I wouldn't say it's the best addition, obviously, to kind of replace Liam Mbappe, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And of course, when Nene Middlescutter, I'll just say a C plus. You know, just kind of it's Nene Middlescutter. What can you say? You know, if he gets to play one game, I'll be happy. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But anyway, well, obviously we'll move towards the last team, and this is obviously the new side that's obviously being considered within the New Zealand division, which is Moana PASIFIKA. So here obviously is Moana PASIFIKA. Again, guys, just when we make this clear, I've chosen the best players in my opinion, who I think have obviously been added towards their side. So this is what I think. But of course, with the forwards, we do the likes of Sikupo Kepu, obviously coming from I believe from the Brumbies, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, 35 years old. You know, he is a prop. No, actually, he's coming from the Is it Wartars or Brumbies? Maybe Wartars. But you know, he is a prop, of course. And yeah, no, he's a great player. He just brings a lot of experience. And obviously, he can kind of, again, similar towards Owen Franks, the younger guns can obviously learn from him. So I think this is a very good chance, obviously, for Moana PASIFIKA. I mean, Henry Stowes as well, obviously coming from the Western Force, a good addition to the Middle East. You know, he's 26 years old, you know, a loose forward. So yeah, pretty good signing in the Middle East, obviously, from Moana PASIFIKA there. I mean, with the backs, you know, there's a lot of people. I mean, again, you know, with Ere Nari obviously coming from the Crusaders, you know, a good scrum half addition. Obviously, you know, he's 24 years old, so yeah, good to see how he gets along. Of course, Jonathan Tanatami, obviously coming from the Hurricanes, 25 years old, another scrum half. So yeah, they really have, you know, a good position where two players are actually competing against one another. So yeah, that's obviously what you want within within your squad. So that's kind of good to see that they actually filled that position already. So yeah, really excited to see how that kind of gets along. But of course, the big one is Christian Leal, obviously coming from Japan. But yeah, massive signing to say the least. Obviously, 34 years old. I would say, in my opinion, I think this is probably. I think he's staying for 1 or 2 years. I'm not sure how long the contract it is, but still, you know, a very good addition to say the least. And yeah, should do well obviously within the first season. But of course, the next one we do the likes of Solomon Okata, obviously coming from the Brumbies. You know, he's 27 years old. So again, he's a center. So a good, you know, kind of good position and a good addition to St. Leafs, obviously towards the side, and to partner up with him, I think will be Henry Taifu. So yeah, obviously coming from the Western Force as well. Or actually no, is it Brumbies? Is it Western Force? I think it's Western Force. Coming from 28 years old, and is another center as well. He's very good, by the way. I really like I really like to watch him. I believe it is Western Force, by the way, but he's just a powerhouse. He's a battering ram. So yeah, pretty excited to see how he gets along. But yeah, overall, if I had to kind of rank, kind of grade these signings, I'd probably say Kepu is probably a B minus signing. You know, obviously he kind of adds towards the side, so you know, see how he gets along. Henry Sturridge, I'd probably say again a B minus. You know, he's a good player, good addition. You know, kind of heading towards his prime as well. I mean, with the backs, you have Enani as well as Tanatani. Both of them are probably say a C plus, just because they're competing against one another. With Christian Leal, again, I'd probably say a C plus in my opinion. Maybe it's. Is it C plus too harsh? The thing is that like he hasn't. I personally I could even go down to say it's maybe an F, but I wouldn't. I think that's a bit too harsh. So I'll say a C minus. I'll say a C minus because he's at the end of his career really, and I think he's only going to play for one season. So I kind of wish they signed more. Probably a younger player within that position to kind of fill for the next 5 years. Would have liked to see that, but I guess they just didn't have the options available towards them, so it's understandable to say the least. But of course, with Kata, I would probably say again, I'd probably say a C plus signing, and with Henry Tefu, a C plus again. A good combination, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's kind of it with the video. Just hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said again, guys, have a Merry Christmas, guys. Have a great holiday. And yeah, like I said, guys, like this video, guys. Would really appreciate that, guys. And comment below if you guys agree with my overall grades. If you guys think that I've made some harsh decisions, or if you guys agree with most of them, let me know in the comments right now. But yeah, just have a good Christmas, guys, and talk to you soon.